Next, we're going to talk about the automation functionality on the IK Multimedia Uno synthesizer. We're going to talk about the arpeggiator and the sequencer. So let's start right off with the arpeggiator. It's activated by, yes, pressing the arpeggiator button. And then we have a variety of options, but in general, it operates as you might expect an arpeggiator to operate. First of all, your tempo is set, of course, by the knob up here. Then we have some other options. For example, direction. You get to select which direction. We have it set to up currently. We can go to down, up and down, pendulum up and down. I guess that's what it is. I don't know what to call that. Down and up. That sort of pendulum down and up. Random. Not sure what's happening with this one. It might be in the order that you're playing them. I don't know, but it's nice. And let's see. It duplicates each step twice. No, it doesn't duplicate it twice. It plays each step twice as it goes up. And the same thing up and going down. Then we're back to up. So we have that many different types of direction that you can apply to the arpeggiator, which is, again, a lot of different functionality just for such a synthesizer such as this. We also have the ability to figure out range. And when you press range, you'll see a number, and that number is your number of octaves. 1 octave. Oh, whoa. 2 octaves. 3 octaves. 4 octaves. Okay, only 4. Anyway, so you have a range of 4 possible octaves, and then of course you can play with the direction to get Of course, having it set on random and 4 octaves, there's a lot of stuff going on, but that is basically your arpeggiator. There's probably more to it. I found that they were pretty sneaky. There's a lot of functionality that maybe exists that isn't readily apparent. I found some stuff with the sequencer that I didn't expect, which I will show you now. But yeah, that is basically your arpeggiator. It's a full function arpeggiator. It sounds great. Let's head on over to the sequencer. When you press sequencer, if you've made the patch yourself and deleted all of the sequencing, you're met with a sort of empty sequence here that you can fill up in one of 2 ways. I'm going to start off with the sort of step sequencing way of using the sequencer. So if we want to add a sequence to this, let's press record. Okay, now it gives us these 2 lines, which tells us that there is nothing on this step and we're on step 1. So let's put a note on step 1. Okay, now there is a D3 on step 1. What do we want to do with 2? To get to 2, we press the data up button. Now we're on step 2. What do we want there? Do we want a note there or do we want no note there? Let's say no note. We're on step 3. Let's choose the note that we want on step 3. I'm going to choose a C4. Okay. Let's keep going up to 4. Let's put nothing there. I'm going to put a D followed by a C And yes, let's keep going. What I don't know how to do with this sequencer, and I'm not sure if it's possible, but it probably is limiting it to a certain amount of steps. I haven't quite uncovered that functionality yet. If it exists, it might just be that this is 16 steps. And to be honest, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's just keep going. How about let's throw an F in there, and we'll go up here to this, and I'll put a C and another D, and then we'll do something crazy like okay, this is important. We're on step 16. Let's say I put that D in there and I wish that D wasn't in there. If we want to take a step out, all you do, and you have a little legend here that tells you how to do it, Alt clear. So if you hold down Alt and the down arrow, it'll clear the step. As it happens, I actually want that D there though. Okay, so there's our sequence. We have just step sequenced a sequence. All you do is move through the steps using the data arrows, and you press, once you're on a step, you press the note that you want there, and you can fill in all the notes that you need. Let's have a listen. What happened? That's hilarious. Okay. I was guessing. I didn't have any idea what the rhythm would be. But you can also see the notes. It shows you the step you're on and the note that the sequence is playing. You have control over your tempo, of course. And you can certainly do anything you want with the various knobs, changing the sound as it's playing. But that is how you lay down a step sequence using this functionality. Now, we could theoretically do this same thing. I'm going to delete all of these. Let's go back into record, and I'm going to delete all of these. If there's a way to delete all of them just in general, I don't know it, but that might be fun. I'm going to have to do this twice, and you have to sit and watch. All right. Now, let's go back to this. Now I'm going to try, I want to show you that you can also enter these steps using a Midi keyboard. Okay, so in doing that, there is a benefit. If you wanted to enter something that was not readily accessible from this keyboard in its current setting, like that, you can do that. So let's listen to this. So I'm going to guess that if while you were entering your sequence stepwise, you could press octave and go up a few octaves and press a note, and it would do the same thing. But if you're controlling it with a MIDI keyboard, it's really easy to put any note you want over the entirety of the length of your MIDI keyboard to get the sequence you want, if you want to do that. All right. Next, we're going to talk about entering a sequence in real time, which you can also do. I'm just going to basically show you. There is a metronome functionality that I haven't gotten to work, but basically it's activated by pressing Alt and metronome. It says off, but it looks like it's on. So when we go into recording, suddenly it no longer shows. Is that something I should turn? And then you can't turn it on. I'm not sure how to get the metronome to work. I haven't had success with that, but I'm sure someone will put it in the comments since I've said I don't know how to do it. Okay, basically what you do is you press record and then press play. Now everything you add to this will be the note that's there. So you can play in real time, and if we had a metronome going, it would be a lot easier. But since we have the notes left over from the last sequence, I can kind of get the tempo. So basically, I entered those all from the MIDI keyboard, playing in real time. That way you don't have to inch through and step through with the data. So that's convenient. Another thing that we can do that we haven't talked about yet, and this is the thing I found out accidentally, you can actually also record knob movements with a synthesizer. And again, I'm sorry to keep saying this, but this is so feature-packed for what would initially appear to be a modest synthesizer. You can really, there's a lot going on here. So basically, as far as I've been able to tell, you can record knob movements. I haven't tried to see if you can record the performance buttons, but that might be possible. Let's have some fun with this. Okay. You do have to, of course, be in real-time recording mode for it to record the knob movements. Okay, that's probably not the outcome we want, but let's we'll try that again. I'm going to turn up the resonance a bit. Okay, so when it's playing, all you have to do is press record. So there we have just recorded those filter movements. And we don't have to stop there. We can have fun with like oscillator wave shape. And we can do that with both of them. So yeah, you can make your sequence really fun and really interesting. Let's see if the buttons record. What's going to be the most obvious one? I think we have the LFO set to something. I don't think it does. No. But that's cool, and you can still do it yourself. Anyway, we can also affect the direction of the sequence. We have forward and go backwards. Ooh, I like it better backwards. We also have back and forth. And then back to forward. We also have range we can mess with. Oh, this is it. Oh, thank goodness. Now no one has to tell me. Range allows you to set how many steps the sequence is. And so if you're in live performance, you can certainly be adjusting how many steps are present and adjusting the 3 different direction possibilities to create really complex real-time sequencing changes. And also, if you have recorded knob changes over time, you have the ability to sort of start the sequence in the midst of those knob variations, which is sounding really cool right here. I'm having too much fun with this. You can really create a lot of diversity in your live performance by messing around with the provided sequencer functionality, and it's a lot of fun. You have a lot of opportunities. Okay, so we've just experienced the Arpeggiator and the sequencer on the IK Multimedia Uno analog synthesizer.